So here, so instead of saying a equal to 5 or a equal to 6 or a equal to 10, I want to make an user to enter the value for me. Okay. So to do that, I'm going to use a function called input. So if you see, when I start typing again, in itself is a keyword. I will come to this keyword a bit later. And then when I say input, this is again it's a keyword. Okay, so a equal to input, and then I'm just going to give a bracket open and close. Okay, so this particular function, so input is actually a function. Sorry. So input is a function that takes a value from the user and returns that. Okay. So here I'm saying a equal to input. Okay, so this line is a comment, as you can see. So Python interpreter, just by seeing hash, you will see that I don't have to interpret this line at all. So it will skip this line and then it's going to run this line. Now when I hit run here, there will be a small dialog box thing like this coming in your command. I mean the prompt in the bottom, where you will be prompted to type the value. So you can type any value here. You can type 1, or you can type 10 or 15 or 15.0, 15.5445, whatever value you want to type, you can just type in, right? So let's see what happens. So I'm just going to say 15.45. Okay, so I'm just going to hit enter. So again, I repeat, you just say a equal to input. You don't have to type this line. I'm just giving this for understanding purpose, and I'm just saving this file then and there. So this Jupyter notebook file will also be shared with you after the class. Okay. So once we do the coding, I will just share this with you as well. So here I'm saying a equal to input. So when I run it, I'm going to get a box here. So if I just say some other number, 45.34 or something. Now if I just print a, just see what is happening. So a is getting printed as, or just go with print a itself. So a is getting printed as 45.34. But if I just print this a, or if I print the type of a, the type should be actually a float, correct? It is 45.34. It's a decimal point number. But let's see what type of a gives us. So what is that it is giving? It's giving it as a string.
String.
Yeah. So the reason is input is a function which is defined in such a way that it is going to return a string type always. Okay. So how do you check that? You just go on to this cell. There is an input function, right? Open bracket, close bracket. Keep your cursor in between the brackets and press shift and tab. So you will get something called as a signature. And then here you see some plus icon is there, right? If you click that, it's like a help for this function. Okay, so you can see what this function is all about. Read a string from the standard input. Read a string. So whatever you give as an input, this function always reads that as a string, and then it's just giving you the value to you. Okay, or you can also use this function called help. So just say help of input. Okay, so help of input will also give you the same thing. So it's a help method, or you can go to the help and then see that later on. But this is a function to give you what is the functionality, and the shortcut is very simple. Go inside this function, press shift and tab. I'm putting the shortcut in the chat box. So shift plus tab. So press that within the brackets and you get the signature and docstring. I'll talk about docstring later. So here you can see that the functionality itself says that whatever you type, this function always reads that as a string. That's why here you are getting it as a type of str. So now I want to make this as a float. So how do I do that? How to make this string as a float?
Can I just ask one thing?
Yeah, so typecasting, exactly. So you have to do this typecasting now. So if I say float of a, that's all. So now this value is converted into a float type that is there with you. Okay. So another option is, if you know upfront that you want the user to input only an integer, or you want to make the user to input only a float, then you can specify that before this input statement itself. So I will do that here itself as new line. So let's say I want to enter only an integer. So I'm going to say a equal to int of. So what I'm doing is whatever I'm getting from the input function, immediately I'm converting that into an integer here itself. So that in the single line itself, I will get the value for a, which is an integer by default. Okay. So though it is giving me a string, input is giving me a string, and here I'm typecasting into float of a. So instead of doing multiple steps in a single line itself, I'm going to say int of input, so that this input is going to give me a string, which is going to be converted into an integer immediately. Okay, but then there is a problem here. What is the problem? When I run this now, and suppose I don't know, since this is just a blank line, right? And I don't know what it should be giving me. So what I will be doing is that I don't know what to give, correct? So because it doesn't say anything, it's just giving me a blank space for me to enter. By mistake, I don't know what to type, and if I just type it as welcome, then I will get an error saying that welcome is a string, right? Which cannot be converted into a integer. Okay, so you should not give this. I mean, it's a wrong input. Okay, that's why you get an error called as value error. So instead, what you should give is, so here you should say enter a number or integer. So you can just give a prompt to the user. So when you run this, you can see that enter an integer or enter an integer. If you want, you can do that. So let me just give some number here, or even you can say enter a number, and not a problem, because even if you enter a float, so 45.35, whatever. So you can see here.
You have put it float there.
Sorry.
You have put it float number. That's why it's showing invalid now.
Correct. I'm just giving you some different ideas, right? So if you say int input, enter a number, and here you just say 45. Now a will be 45, and type of a will be an integer. Only this will be a proper one. So if you want that to be a float, so you have to say float of input, enter a number, where you can say 45.35 and all. Now a will become 45.35, and the type of a will become a float. Okay. And see, another thing is that when I say a equal to int of input or something, you will get this prompt, right? So by mistake, if you didn't give anything here and then you started typing on the next cell, let's say d equal to 15, and start running this, this will not run because still this cell is running. So how to identify that? See, when a particular cell, the operation is complete, you get a number associated with that. So if in a particular cell you get only a star, then that means you have missed out giving something. Okay, so instead of giving 15 here, you would have by mistake given 15 outside this particular prompt. So when you run that, it will not run at all. So what you have to do is find out that particular cell and then go here and give the input, and then the next output automatically comes. Okay, so the sequence is followed, correct? And another process to identify is that on your right side corner, you can see that there is a small circle here. Okay, if the circle is filled, then it will prompt you that the kernel is busy, which means you have not done the one properly. Okay, now what you can do is, if you run it here, let's say 45, and hit enter, now you get the open circle, which means the kernel is idle, which means it has run all the required formats that you have given, correct? So in case if any of you are not able to see any outputs further and only getting star, then that means you have missed out entering on a particular cell. So just scroll above and find out that cell where the star is happening. So if you are not able to figure out anything, don't worry. Just go to say kernel and then just hit on restart and run all. Okay, or just say restart, kernel restart. Okay, that will stop all the running process, and then the cell will get restarted. But if you restart the kernel, then you have to go back and then keep on executing all the values one by one once again. So to avoid that, you can use this option called restart and run all, so that all the cells will again get run once again. So next, going forward, the next thing that we are going to see is called as a Boolean data type. Okay, So generally, Boolean type data type means it is either true or false. Okay. Now we are going to go for the other set of operators. Okay. Quickly, I will do the other operators such as the arithmetic operators, right? So a equal to 5 or a equal to 10 and b equal to 5. Okay, now I am assigning new values now. A equal to 10, b equal to 5. So you know a plus b will give you 15, a minus b will give you 5, a star b will give you 50, and a slash b will give you 2.0, because by default this slash operation will always give you a floating result. If you want to get only the integer result, you say a double slash b, and if you want to say a power b, you can give this. Okay, so these are all the arithmetic operators. You can add, subtract, multiply, float divide, integer divide, and then this is your raised to the power. So 10 raised to the power of 5 is 10 power 5, which is your 1 lakh. Okay, so these are the arithmetic operators that we already discussed now. Okay. Now, if you just say a greater than b, now I'm using another operator called greater than operator. So greater than means you know what is the condition, correct? So you are trying to check the condition that a is greater than b or not. So the option can be either true or false. Now that true or false is called as Boolean. Okay. So when you hit this shift and enter, you will get the result called true because a is 10 and b equal to 5. Okay. And if you say b greater than a and run it, you will get a result called as false because this condition is false now. So this true or false, where t alone is in caps in true and f alone is in caps in false. So this is called as a Boolean type. So for example, I can say result equal to b greater than a. Now I'm operating this one or checking the condition b is greater than a. So this is either going to be true or false, and that is getting stored in the variable called as result. So when you say type of result, you can see that it is of type Boolean, right? Because result is going to be either true or false. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, of course, you can also do a mod b. So here a mod b will be 0 because a is 10 and b is 5. So 10 divided by 5 remainder is 0. What did you do there? Did you give b greater than a? Someone is asking in chat, you are getting type of result is not bool. So just see if you have given this statement, result equal to b greater than a. So I'm just saying that the type of result is either, so the result will be either true or false, which means the type of result will be bool. Bool means it's Boolean.